What up, gamers? I'm Jason.
And I'm Julie.
And today on Dice & Dragons, we are going to be reviewing the new expansion for Marvel Champions, the card game, the Wrecking Crew Scenario Pack. Now, this is designed by Caleb Grace, and once again, published by Fantasy Flight Games. Now, I'm going to toss it over to Julie, who's going to tell you more about the, it's going to be the base game, less about the expansion.
Yeah, so like the base game, it's a cooperative game that's intended for ages 14 and above. Plays 1 to 4 players and is intended to play in about 45 to 90 minutes. I think that's pretty accurate.
It's fairly accurate. The one thing I will say in our experience, if you set the health count to maximum when you're playing 4 players, get ready for a much longer game. Now, what are you going to be doing in the Wrecking Crew Scenario Pack? Well, there's only one main scheme, but how this one differs is that you're taking on the entire Wrecking Crew. There will be 4 villains. Only one villain will be active at a time. Different cards will come out of the encounter deck, changing the active villain. You must manage their side schemes as well as the main scheme and make sure that you defeat the Wrecking Crew before they're able to escape from prison. Now, that being said, did I forget anything, Julie?
Don't think so.
So, what time is it?
It's time to grab our drinks.
Grab our fellow superhero.
We're going to take it to the table.
And take it to the table. I'm looking forward to seeing this one. It's definitely offering us something that we haven't experienced before in the game. Don't even have anything like this in Sentinels of the Multiverse, so it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's take a look at the components for Marvel Champions, the card game, the Wrecking Crew. Now we'll start with the rulebook just to go through this and explain how this scenario is different. So as you can see, there's some additional setup instructions. You're going to need to have health for all of the villains. As you can see, you need to add the additional side schemes that are going to be into play. After that, you've got the different encounter decks and then their own discard pile with the main scheme out there. So as you can see, a lot more challenging. You're going to be facing all 4 of them at the same time. Next, there are some new rules with regards to the active villain. Now, we're just going over this, so we're not going to really explain it. We also want to keep it a surprise for when you play the game. So just to give you an idea, though, you're not necessarily going to have to face all 4 of them at once. Only certain villains will be active and affected by their specific cards. Don't forget about those signature side schemes. That'll be challenging. And there are 2 versions of the members of the Wrecking Crew to adjust the difficulty, which makes a lot of sense as this is the first scenario with when you're fighting a team of villains. So let's take a look at villain number 1, Pile Driver. We've got his A and B. You can see his specific side scheme here. We do get some cards that are specific to him, such as Distracting Taunts. Other ones like Held Hostage, Corrupt Prison Guard, Escaped Convict, Buddy Crew, Get Wrecked. I've been waiting for this. You're going to see them in all of the other decks. Then we see some of his own specific things here with Oversized Hands, Escape Plan, Pummel, and then Uncanny Resilience. Next, we'll take a quick look at Bulldozer. So once again, version A, version B. Primary difference, as you can see right here, is the scheming and then the hit points. Once again, a signature side scheme. Now he's got some signature equipment. We see some of the similar cards. Here we've got a special condition, is ramming speed. We've seen those cards already. He's got Bull Rush, which is a treachery, Get Wrecked, Headbutt, and Leading the Charge. Next, we've got the Wrecker. So once again, A and B, a specific side scheme for him. Some similar items. Here we've got his Magical Crowbar, his Wrecker's Command, similar cards, a Crowbar Toss, and then his Mystical Link and Your Dead Meat. So all in all, looks fairly nasty. Next, we have Thunderball. It's again A and B, a side scheme. He's got a ball and chain as his special attachment. Radioactive Buildup. It's again some of the similar cards. He's got some energy projectiles, which don't look very fun. A Lightning Blast, and some Tactical Prowess. Do we really need to have a guy with Tactical Prowess? I don't know. Find out once we play the game and then give you our review. And then we've got the one main scheme, Breakout, with all the instructions how to set it up, and then what you need to do in order to win this scenario. Now, with that being said, we're going to get out of here, get this game to the table, and then we'll be coming right back at you with our review of the expansion. So Marvel Champions, the Wrecking Crew Scenario Pack. What did you think of this addition to the base game?
Well, I thought it was interesting to be playing 4 villains. It took us a little while to figure out how the villains were working, but once we figured it out, I thought it was pretty interesting to have the 4 of them out. It kind of reminded me a little bit of, the movies and how there's always more than one villain attacking them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting, and we played it a few times with a few different characters. I think the one thing I would say is it seemed less difficult to me than some of the other villains that we faced in the past.
And I'd have to agree with you. I'm wondering if because the fact that you're facing 4 different villains, that the difficulty on each of them is toned down just a little bit. Could also be the combination of characters that we were using. Captain America with a shield throw. It's incredibly powerful. There's not that many minions, meaning you can just basically discard your hand, do 4 damage to all the villains, avoid things like retaliate. Playing with Captain Marvel aggression, so being able to just power up and basically nuke like one of the villains. I think we had one of the Wrecking Crew members done in the second turn, he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So also you were then playing She-Hulk, and she was just straight up some turns I think you were doing 15 damage to guys that had 24 health. I definitely think that this scenario would probably benefit to be played on expert mode or with different combination of heroes, would present a much larger challenge.
But it was still interesting to have the four different villains out there. I think one of the things that we came to a conclusion is by the time you get down to the last villain, you're pretty much assured that you're winning the game. It's just a question of how fast you're getting rid of that last villain.
Yeah, I think the only way you can lose against the last villain would be if the main scheme is out of control, if your characters have been worn down by a few of the cards that came out. Now, during our plays, it could be that we just got a little luck. We didn't have too many things jumping around affecting which villain was active.
We've also played this game quite a few times, so we also know, and we know the characters' strengths and weaknesses, maybe, to know when it's time to, heal up each of our characters, or when it's time to thwart and when it's time to attack. So, maybe somebody playing it for the first time, it's a little bit more complicated, but I generally found that, the previous villains seemed to be a little bit more tough.
And I have to agree. I mean, playing Spider-Man with just the base Justice deck, Jessica Jones just kills. There was no contest. She came out, it was I'm going to thwart for 5. It's just crazy. It basically meant that for the 3 turns she was out, didn't have to worry about a single one of the side schemes. Just thwarted the crap out of everything, and we kept going. Also got a nice start with Swinging Kick. I mean, you were playing She-Hulk. We did. Guy had, 22 hit points. We did 15 damage in the first round. Next thing you know, you took him out, and then we're working on the next guy. So I do think there's a little bit of the luck of the draw. I will have to say that we didn't see too many very challenging cards come out of the Wrecking Crew deck. By far, the Wrecker, I thought, presented the biggest challenge. He's also the one that starts being active. Some of his cards are fairly nasty.
Well, the one
and we did have to do more healing in this than I found in other games.
Retaliate was pretty annoying too.
Yeah.
And giving up your one of the other ones was giving up
upgrades and support.
That was annoying, because you work hard to get that upgrade and then it disappears on you.
Yeah, when you lost Avengers Tower, I saw a look on your face. You were like, he needs to die now. Well, not die, be apprehended. But then again, the MCU heroes, I'm pretty sure they killed a lot of people. Because it depends. Comics, movies, what's more realistic?
I don't have much more to add to this. I think I had fun playing it. Like I said, I thought it was easy. And it's definitely a different mechanic than the other ones. So it's a different style of play, and it added a little bit of fun to this game.
So any negatives, any reason to not pick up this scenario pack?
No, I think if you enjoy the game, I would say even maybe if you're starting out, that might be. I think it might be actually easier to start out with this crew than with some of the other villains.
Then like Ultron with his Ultron bots everywhere, or even Green Goblin. Now I love everything that this offers. I do feel like there is a fair bit of scaling. So we haven't tried on Expert. I do think Expert present a much bigger challenge, but it wasn't the most challenging scenario that we've played. Green Goblin was far more challenging. So I don't think this is a collection essential, but in terms of variety and gameplay experience, I would make sure to add it at some point to the collection, because having the 4 villains, getting that sort of, as Julie mentioned, the cinematic scope, or that, that feeling of being under attack. We don't have a Sinister Six expansion yet, but if you want to play like Spider-Man against multiple villains, that's going to give you the best feeling. And I can definitely see how this could be a lot more challenging solo. I mean, you've got to face through like 40 hit points of villains rather than just 11.
Mm-hmm.
So, what time is it now, Julie?
Well, it's time to give our rating.
Yes, a rating, yes.
What would you give it?
I give this a 7.5. Solid addition to the game. Not too many negatives. It's something that I think most people will enjoy, but it's not, 8 and above, 8.5, up to that 9, 10 range where it is a must add. Now, I don't know if we'd ever give an expansion to 10. If that ever happens, it probably means this makes the game that much better.
Yeah, I agree. This is a 7.5 for me. I think it was fun and an interesting add to the base game.
Okay, so now what can everyone do?
So now everybody can like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified when we have some new content for you.
Also, down below in the video description, you will find links to all of our social media feeds. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. There are plenty of pictures of us playing Marvel Champions, the Wrecking Crew. You can also see the new Marvel Champions playmat. Really like that thing. It's pretty. She even told me to buy it. She tells me to buy everything Marvel. Well, most everything Marvel.
He jumps on anything I say as buy.
Oh. This one, you definitely did say, there's a card game, it's cooperative, and there's a playmat. I approve. Mm-hmm. I got the wife's approval. Lucky guy. And also, popping up in front of me, you're going to find links to some of our previous videos. You'll find links to our most recent one, and then a link that will take you back to our review of Marvel Champions, the card game, also with the how to play. So if you've somehow ended up here accidentally, well, you can learn about the base game and how to play it. So now what time is it?
It's time to grab our drinks.
Grab our best friend and fellow superhero.
And we're going to keep playing games.
Keep playing games. We're definitely going to keep playing this one. Remember to subscribe to the channel because we will be doing reviews of the new heroes. So we've got Thor coming in March. Black Widow, I don't even know if you might get a solo review.
No.
You're going to let me play Thor?
No, I'll play Thor, but you can review it with me. I'll let you play one of the times.
Okay. In any case, so Thor in March, Black Widow and Doctor Strange are in the works. Not sure what the next scenario pack is, but I'm sure we'll be getting something soon.